Hey guys, Bix Weir, Roota.com. Let's talk about supply shock and the difference between supply shock and demand shock when it comes to markets, especially a globalized market, because we are running into a supply shock. The Fed can't fix that one. No amount of money can create goods and put them on the shelves. No amount of money. It's not a money problem. So the Fed can't fix this problem. JPMorgan is in deep shit, highly levered and highly invested in China and Asia and America and all over the world with their derivatives. Derivative bombs are going to start going off within weeks, I believe, as it dawns upon the world that there is a supply shock, that there is no end in sight to this. There is no end in sight, and it might be part of the plan to make sure there's no end in sight, because you can't beat the bankers at their own game, printing money and rigging markets. But if you take things off the shelves, yes, you can beat them. If their customers lose money, yes, you can beat them. And their customers right now are bleeding money. And that's the beauty of reversing the fractional reserve lending capabilities of a bank, is that when they lose, going up, it's great. You create 10 to 1 money, and so 10 times what you would have invested you make money on. That's great for the banks. Coming down, it is vicious and brutal. They are going to lose 10 times the money that they invested. And tier 1 capital is going to evaporate. And we're getting to that point right now. Dow Jones Industrial Average down 870 points. It's down 1,000 yesterday. We got about 10 more minutes to the end, till the market closes. It'll be interesting to see if it closes below 1,000 down again. That might be something that the battle behind the scenes, the computer riggers are shooting for, 2 $1,000 days of dropping. Psychologically, what's that going to do to the market? We got all kinds of. We'll come back to this. Right now, it's at 886 with about 10 minutes left. But here's what I want to talk about: why a supply shock is the biggest stock market worry as viral outbreaks continue. It's much more complicated, if at all possible, to offset supply shocks. There's something very different about the threat of COVID-19 poses to the global economy, and that's what has investors worried. Quote, because of its genesis in China, coronavirus is both a demand and supply shock to the global economy, says Brian Nick, Chief Investment Strategist at Nuveen. Outside of China, however, evidence based on February's survey data, U.S. consumer sentiment, and Eurozone Purchasing Managers Index should suggest that demand remains solid and supply issues are the key risk. Well, who believes the U.S. data? Reality is coming to bite people in the face. Investors are more used to dealing with the occasional threat of negative demand shocks, an unexpected hit to demand for goods and services, but the potential for a negative supply shock, an unexpected change in the supply of a product or commodity, is more unnerving, as Eric Nielsen, Group Chief Economist at UniCredit Bank, explained in a Sunday note. Investors know that efforts by policymakers to stimulate the economy can partly address demand shocks, but it is much more complicated, if at all possible, to offset supply shocks, he wrote, offering the following example. Think of it this way. China has closed a reported 70,000 movie theaters because of the virus. That's a supply shock, and no amount of income or demand surplus will boost ticket sales. Of course, people may increase the number of downloads of films and games to play at home, as we have seen, but this is nothing more than drops in the ocean in terms of the overall economy. Big negative supply shocks are rare, Nielsen noted, with the oil shocks of the early 1970s offering perhaps the most well-known examples. Moreover, there's little that looser monetary policy or fiscal stimulus can do to offset the impact, because those stimulus measures work by boosting demand. Stocks weathered temporary pullbacks earlier this year, with bulls shrugging off warning. Yeah, the stock market's been a joke. It's nothing but up because Steve Mnuchin kept clicking his mouse. But now Steve Mnuchin can keep clicking his mouse, but there's going to be nothing on the shelves very soon. And that's a big problem. How can you tell the world that, oh, everything's fine? Behavioral economics, everything's fine, don't worry about it. And nothing on the shelves. That's a big problem. It's a huge problem. All right, let's take a look where we are. Down 850, with about 6-7 minutes left. I think they might be gunning for the 2 1,000 point drops in 2 days. But remember, this isn't. I mean, when were we last here? Is the question. Not that long ago. Let's go 6 months back, right in here. December, we were about the same price. Now let's look at 3 years back and see where we're headed. We're headed, and probably this will be the first stop over the next few months, 20,000 Dow. If Steve Mnuchin allows markets to slowly deflate. That's what he's trying to do, slowly deflate it. Don't cause a panic. Make sure you keep cryptos in check. Make sure you keep gold and silver in check. Just don't cause a panic. So I'm not going to keep you guys to the end to see if it hits $1,000 drop again. It will continue to drop at some point when Mnuchin is ready, but this is the big problem. Loose monetary policy and market rigging, it doesn't stock the shelves with goods. All right. I have posted an update on all the Road to Roota topics on the private road for private road members and on the Patreon page for both Patreons and the Patreon Plus. So if you are there, there's a video, interesting stuff. Go check it out. And this is the new Patreon memberships. You got 2 of them. The Road Warrior, which is the same, about 1 video a week, and then updates on repo. And then Road Warrior Plus, you get all the private road stuff, videos for $25 a month. Go check them out. Bix Weir, Road to Roota. Talk to you later.
Well, here's a true story about a man just like you. He worked his whole life, he was honest and true. Built up a nest egg the way they said to. Invest in the market, money works for you. And everything is fine, picking the winners every time. Started to believe he can make dollars out of dime. Little did he know he's being primed for a fall. The riggers let you play, then the riggers steal the ball. We want free markets, not a million phantom trades. Lest everyone's honest, we're gonna lose what we made. Got to shut down exchanges, trade 1 for 1. We want free markets, well, our work's just begun. Free markets are the road to freedom. Capitalism, not as bad as they say. The world has never tried it, rigging markets every day. Socialists fail every time in every way. Need a better system to forge a better day. We want free markets, not a million phantom trades. Lest everyone's honest, we're gonna lose what we made. We gotta shut down exchanges till they trade 1 for 1. We want free markets, our work's just begun. Free markets are the road to freedom. I said free markets are the road to freedom. nation, if only done right. We can take out the liars, bring dark into light, and trust in the math, not the people who lie. I think we can make it if we give it a try. We want free markets, not a million phantom trades. Lest everyone's honest, we're gonna lose what we made. We gotta shut down exchanges till they trade one for one. We want free markets, our work's just begun. 'Cause free markets are the road to freedom. I said free markets are the road to freedom. Free markets are the road to freedom.